Good morning, all. This is Brian with from Earth to Hearth. So this morning, I want to talk about pruning. So we got a couple different examples here of pruning and why and reasons. So over here we have potatoes and beans, and over here, at least on this side, we're specifically talking about our tomatoes and the cucumbers we have interplanted in here. Now we'll start over here. Now the cucumbers I planted here first, and we weren't initially intend the tomatoes, but we decided to put them here. I know most people wouldn't necessarily think as in terms of companion planting tomatoes and cucumbers, but the reality is a lot of companion planting is more of guidelines than really strict rules. There are those occasional ones. So here, and I've already kind of done most of it, you can kind of see we've removed a lot of these lower leaves, and the main purpose here is to give more sunlight for these cucumbers to grow, and they're actually doing quite well. Now a little bit of competition is actually not bad. This is going to encourage vigorous growth. There is a fine line between vigorous and leggy, and we're walking that line, but got good color. And the other reason you also want to be pruning your tomatoes in this sort of way is this helps encourage airflow. It also encourages your plants to grow and not kind of branch out. And other ways you want to be looking for, and this is all why also pruning suckers off. Now you don't necessarily need shears for that, but you can be looking for something. I've already done a lot of the pruning, but you'll see them here kind of growing. This is where you'll just kind of pick them off. I already got through most of them, and this kind of again encourages it to kind of just grow, keep your growth up on your main leader rather than focusing that energy on growing all these things, and it becomes just a gangly mess that's really hard to manage. And so here, by pruning this out on the bottom and just kind of thinning it, we're encouraging the cucumbers, and I have some melons on that side, to grow, give them light. We're also encouraging airflow. And with both cucumbers and tomatoes, they're both susceptible to fungal diseases. And so that's why also pruning your lower branches as time goes on is not a bad thing, is that's also getting rid of some of your potentially disease growth, and also limiting the ability with the increased airflow of it to get and catch fungal diseases. The airflow will help it dry out and give the spores less likely of a chance to grow. Now, over here, we are pruning for less of a reason, as these beans are already kind of grown up, so they don't really need necessarily the airflow or the sunlight. But what we're having a problem here is, you can kind of see something is coming along. It's been doing it the last week and just kind of chomping these guys off. They're just chomping. Someone's been coming in and just chomping it here and killing these plants, which I don't know what is with these petite Cardicon beans, but the last couple of years everything just wants to eat them. Not my other beans, just these beans. The deer loved them last year, and they ate the beans off. And this year, so what we've done, or what I've done, is pruned all these potatoes back. Now the potatoes are close to being done, so I'm not terribly worried about injuring them or anything. And the reason is I want to give whatever is doing this the least amount of cover and concealment for it to hide and do its dirty work. So we have plenty of birds here. So if it's an insect or slugs, this makes it a lot easier for them to come and find them, and less places for the insects to hide. I do believe it's rabbits. We do have a rabbit population that I've been dealing with in the garden area and trying to remove from it. So, and I've seen them. There's still a couple left. So it might be them. And so the same point here, this gives them less cover, easier for me to see them, and easier for hawks and owls to also see them as well. So hopefully, and I've been doing, there's a deterrent spray, and I will probably put some protective wire or something around these guys, try and loop a small thing around to see if I can protect some of them that are left. And again, if it's slugs or something, not really going to solve that problem. But if it's rabbits that are chomping them, then that will definitely help out. So hopefully you kind of get an idea of different reasons you can prune, at least in this sort of context, especially with these sort of tunnels, which I love. You do have to be careful though, especially when you're interplanting. So like over here where you've got greens, beans, beets, and carrots. When you're interplanting like that, that competition for sunlight can become fierce. And so it's okay, don't worry, your baby plants can definitely take a pruning, especially as they get older. Pruning off some of that lower foliage to allow sunlight through, allow airflow, and just in general, that will keep your plants healthy, allow them to grow, get the right light they need. Yeah, so again, hopefully that helps. And yeah, so hopefully that helps. And you guys can take that and prune your plants for a better, more vigorous garden.